Hello and welcome to Ireland. My name is Kelsey Peterson and today we're going to be talking about business leadership here in Ireland. What you will learn by the end of this presentation is meeting introduction etiquette, Irish customs and culture, Irish management guidelines, and how to communicate. It's important to know the basic culture of Ireland. A handshake to everyone in the room and a hello is an acceptable greeting. Referring to the people in the room as their title, such as Mr. or Mrs. Making eye contact helps with trust. Greetings are warm and friendly and usually turn into a conversation. In a more personal setting, it's appropriate to bring chocolate or wine to the person that you are meeting. And participation is expected from everyone in a business proceeding. The business people of Ireland believe it is important to be polite. In most cases, it's more important than honesty. Listening is a very important trait that is needed, especially with language barriers and when the Irish people use slang. If you don't understand what is said, make sure to ask. They dislike confrontation and avoid conflict. They like a relaxed setting, but work hard. Meetings are often held in either an office or a pub setting. Managers recognize and value the knowledge from all employees at all levels, and the employees are consulted on decisions that affect them. Employees expect to be praised and complimented on work well done. This is often done in private. Deadlines are more laid back, as is being on time for meetings. Working globally with other countries and cultures is important, and that being identified helps put more of a timeline on their work. Managers, leaders, subordinates are all seen as equals. Employee opinions matter. Teamwork is important, and all members are valued for what they bring to the table. Here in Ireland, people do not like to say no. It will be said in a more roundabout way. This is why listening is important to understand what has been agreed upon, since it is not said flat out. Focus on short-term results and benefits is also what the Irish people tend to lean on. In Ireland, English is the main language spoken, but slang will be used, so be prepared for that. Stories, jokes, and wit are important to the Irish culture. Indirect communication is often used. For example, you may offer to buy someone a drink up at the pub, and they will often say, "Oh, that's okay, you don't have to do that," or "That's not necessary," and oftentimes you'll have to offer several times before they accept. It's unacceptable to brag about yourself. It's looked down upon. Humor is often used, and it is important. It helps make the person feel comfortable. There's a lot of teasing that goes on, but you cannot take this personally. This is a good thing that when they tease, they're trying to make you feel comfortable and invited. And a soft voice is used because overly loud is considered disrespectful and off-putting. Here in Ireland, nonverbal communication is communicated by physical contact not being shown in public, personal space, usually about an arm's length away from the person you are speaking with, eye contact, showing that you're engaged in the conversation and it earns trust, and hand gestures are often used when telling stories. The Irish tend to use slang when they are speaking. They like to joke around with one another, and to make sure you don't take it too personally, listen so you understand, and if you don't understand, ask them. They're very friendly people, and they want you to join in on the fun. We will now be referring back to the book. Socialization is the process by which a person learns the values, norms, perspectives, and expected behaviors that enable him or her to successfully participate in the group or organization. When people are effectively socialized, they quote unquote fit in because they understand and adopt the norms and values in the group. This is on page 442 of our book, And this is important because you will be traveling to another country and you need to understand their norms and values. I've discussed that in Ireland, the leaders and employees are treated as equals. When we look at page 15, it discusses the difference between management and leadership. All of the Irish traits come from the leadership side, such as alignment says create shared cultures and values, provide learning opportunities, and encourage networks and flexibility. Whereas management, they organize the staff, direct and control, and create structure and order, which is fine, but that's not how the people in Ireland do it. Looking at relationships, the leaderships invest in people, use personal influence, and inspire with purpose and trust. Again, all great qualities, traits of the Irish people. When we look at management, they're more invested in the goods, they use position of power and focus on people. Like I said, they're all treated as equals in Ireland, so management doesn't work with that. In the personal qualities, leadership focuses on emotional connections, open-mindedness, and listening. Management is totally opposite. They're more on expert mind, emotional distance, and talking, which is why I say leadership is more geared towards the people of Ireland. On page 53, Exhibit 2.7, they talk about leader behaviors towards in-group versus out-of-group members. All of the qualities and traits and behaviors of the Irish lean more towards the in-group subordinates. Here it states that they provide support and encouragement when an employee is facing a difficult task. They discuss objectives. They trust their employees in the use of their own approach in solving problems and reaching goals. They listen to their employees and ask for suggestions. The employees are engaged in the conversation. They use mistakes as learning opportunities. They give employees choices and they give them praise. Again, these are all things that we need to do in the Irish culture, so learning them now is important. In Ireland, employees are important and their opinions and ideas matter. This brings me to the participative leadership definition, which says it consults with subordinates about decisions. Leadership behavior includes asking for opinions and suggestions, encouraging participation in decisions, and meeting with subordinates in their workplace. The participative leader encourages group discussions and suggestions. Communication is a big part of our everyday lives and is done in and out of the office. Listening is a big part of communication, oftentimes more important than speaking. It's where you get to understand others' ideas. Make sure to listen to avoid miscommunication or misunderstanding. Humor, slang, and indirect communication is often used. Sometimes it's hard to understand or catch these, so if you don't understand, make sure to ask. It's important to make sure everyone is on the same page. And on page 269 of our books, it says the key effective listening skills are show interest by nodding your head, repeat what you have heard, keep an open mind, seek understanding, be open to new ideas, and show respect. Make sure to give your ideas and be vocal, but don't forget to listen in return. You also don't want to dominate the conversation because this can be considered impolite. Make sure you give others the chance to speak. Conflict in Ireland is frowned upon. With good communication skills, conflict can be eliminated. Listening to one another to avoid misunderstandings and miscommunication is key. When there is a conflict, you want to collaborate and compromise. Both parties win through bargaining and negotiating. Communicate, talk to one another and get it figured out. Listen and understand. This teaches problem-solving skills as well. Hopefully you have learned some greeting etiquettes of Ireland, communication, the do's and don'ts of business in Ireland, and how to be successful in the business place. I hope this presentation will help you with your business leadership in Ireland and that you enjoy your time while over there.